Hey everyone, this is a video about fonts, how to add them, and just sort of how fonts work in Figma in general. And there's a couple different things depending on whether you're using the browser version or the desktop version. So if I click on some text and I go over to typography, if I open up this menu, if you scroll all the way, well, you don't have to scroll. If you look at the very top here, there is a drop down that says all fonts. You can see the fonts that are used in this file. You can see fonts that are used in your team. With an upgrade. You can see popular fonts. You can see all the Google fonts. You can see the ones that have just been added as of August 2024. You can see variable fonts, and you can also see fonts installed by you. So if you want to use font files and use them in Figma, there's a couple things you need to do if you're working in the browser. There is a page on Figma, in the Figma help docs, about adding a font to Figma design, and it requires using where is it? Install. There it is. Install the Figma font helper. So this is just for browser. It says if you have desktop, you don't need to do this, but you do need to do it for Figma font helper. I already have it installed, but I'm just going to see if it'll let me reinstall. Who knows? Font installers. Okay, so Figma downloads. I'm going to do the Mac OS installer. And download unverified file. I like living dangerously. And let me see if my downloads are there yet. Okay, looks like it's there. So you just run the DMG and say open. And it will then be installed. So now you can use local fonts in your browser. And what you do there is just kind of how you would install any font. So I found one called Homepage Pakistan. I have no idea where this came from, but I'm going to install it just to show how it will show up in Figma. So now it's installed locally on my machine. Where is it? Home. There it is, homepage. So let's go back to Figma in the browser, and it does. You don't even have to close it and reopen. It just shows up, which is great. So now you can have local files. Now, if you did this in the desktop app, you could just install fonts and they would show up. All right. Now, if you wanted to use an Adobe font, you would log into your Adobe Typekit account, and it's similar. It's you're adding it, basically you're installing it on your machine. So let's add Katie Sands. So I'm going to add OT regular, and I'm going to click add font, and a little window pops up and says that you will manage your fonts in the Creative Cloud. So I'm going to open my Creative Cloud. And here are some of the fonts that I have installed. They are available for Adobe apps, but if I want to install them on other apps, I can click here. So it says click here to install non-Adobe apps. And then that should do it. So let's see if it works. Fonts installed. I'm just going to refresh my browser. And this font, I should be able to change to Katie. There you go. So that is it. That is Adobe fonts, local font files. If you want to install a Google font that is not part of the list that is automatically added. So they have quite a few Google fonts already installed, but let's say you want something that is not in here. You would go to Google Fonts, so fonts.google.com, and I'm going to pick this big shoulder inline. So I'm going to click it, and I am going to get the font, and I'm going to download. And then open this up. Big shoulders. Oh, interesting. It comes with a pack. I'm going to install the TrueType. TTF stands for TrueType. Install. Did I just install? Let me verify what I just did. Big shoulders, right? Let's see. All fonts. Are you there now? Big shoulders. So there is the font I just installed. And now, same thing, if I go back here, it should now be available. I'm going to refresh my browser just to be on the safe side. It doesn't seem to even need to, but it makes me feel better. And then if I go in here, I should see big shoulder. There it is, big shoulder inline. Cool. All right, so a few different ways to install fonts in Figma. Thanks a lot. Hope this was helpful.